Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel who really love rights. So just a fly and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do that righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. we love Jah. We love Jah, Jah,
Jah Rastafari.
we love Jah, Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and fight.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah, and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
and we love Jah, Jah, Jah. Me love Jah, Jah.
Jah
Me love Jah, Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
Me love Jah, Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari. Jah.
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
Pay Amena. Come share my Salima. The Salimas of the Jamaican Authority. When a child is being murdered, really depends on who pulls the trigger. Welcome to this morning's offensive of selective outrage. We're on the war path this morning. And if you're not prepared to get trucked over this morning, stay out of our bloody way. It is as simple as that. Turn out our way if you don't want to get rolled over this morning. But we're out on the offensive this morning, and we're out here to many hypocrites this morning. Hypocrites on both sides of the coin. Hypocrites in public sector. Oh, we are out here this morning. We're going to pick the Prime Minister up this morning, drag him and throw him. Globalists, good morning. I don't know if I can say it was a restful weekend on my part. Certainly, though, it was glorious weather on this side of the pond. We have 14 to 15 degree and sunshine. The weather is glorious. Winter has taken a pause in Britain. We are actually basking in the glory of spring weather right now. Though weather in this country isn't promising, but we have to ramp with it while it is here. How do everybody? Good morning. Whole heap went on over the weekend, has it not? Whole heap went on over the weekend. And we are going to have our say on a lot of things that went on over the last few days. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, political hypocrites. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My mother, good morning. Blossom Riley, good morning. Debbie Jervis TV, good morning. And welcome. Happy Monday to you all. RJ Robinson, good morning. Shaletta, good morning. Errol, Laverne, Wayne, good morning. Good morning. Evan, Barbara, Sophia, Lynette, The Easy Jerk, Lossum, Miranda Ruddock, honor the morning, man. I'm gonna call the whole of them there. Pink, good morning, good morning. Who else there? Good morning and welcome. Abinasa Cody, good morning. Good morning. Lawrence Michaels, Colleen, good morning. Renice Nicholson, Sheena Kelly. And if you're listening in silent, listen, honestly, I come upon the war part this morning. Don't make me turn pan on over the like button this morning. I beg. I beg. Oh. Now, the first thing I want to voice my opinion on is the petrol station fireburn saga with these three ladies said to be fighting over man. Put the fight over man to side for 1 minute. Don't know what they call man these days, if you ask me. And we're going to address Facebook this morning as well. Come, me fed up of Facebook. Facebook, me fed up of you because I've been disciplined left, right, and center on Facebook. And we're going to go to Facebook this morning as well, drunk. So line up behind them two women down a gas station. Debbie, and how you do? I have no proof of what happened in the story. I'm just speaking from the low, the bish, bash, and whiff that is happening on social media. But if it is that a man fight, cause if it turn up at somebody workplace with your sister, if it tabar up or tabar up, and she uses whatever she had at the moment to defend herself, I don't see how people is going on about. She shouldn't burn up the girl. She should go on. I don't understand why the girl left her workplace to fight over man. Why she turn up there with a knife? And watch, if you have a hose and gas and matches, and somebody are going to tabby you up, you're going to make them tabby you up and you don't light them on fire? I mean, you must understand, say, if you can't stand the consequences of war, don't taunt it, don't get in there. You cannot blame the victim if it is how this case is said to be. But at her workplace, where they turn up there to fight her, she's a victim. And victims are allowed to defend themselves. The woman never want to get burned in her yard. Cook food for her, picnic them, do something. Find something big for a 30-year-old woman. We don't see a man for a fight over anymore. Talk truth. What it is in a man for no fight over? Like seriously? When I find you not tell me, because maybe I would want to research it. We also have medical breakthrough to tell you about this man. Lord, I hope I see we'll start about this man. No, we turn to Facebook. Is there any straight man left out there? If anybody is aware, I'm interested to know. Facebook choked me. I'm one who regularly get disciplined from Facebook of not following community guideline and monetization guideline. But from 2007, when we did sign up to Facebook, Facebook warned us about nudity and all of them something. But Facebook have a trend around now where be a hungry black man, pick it up. Because I don't see no white youth out there do it. Or at least, if white guys out there do it, Facebook not sending them to my page, and I don't know why Facebook keep doing it. And I keep refusing Facebook advances for go on camera in my underpants, in my boxers, or whatever, go shake my bum or go shake my private entities or what it is about Facebook. But black men all over are doing it. Is there any straight black men out there on Facebook? Because too much out there now. Too much out there now is prepositioning yourself for people to look on. Where are all the bad men and the gangsters? Are there any of them live out there now? Because you see, all the bad men and gangsters them over TikTok is becoming candy as well. What happened to you? And women still a fight over, you know? That's the problem I'm having. Women still find it necessary to fight over a man that, because of a few dash on Facebook, would erect himself and come on camera and shake himself in front of the camera. And Facebook don't see it as a violation, but when me cause blood clot and pussy clot and tell people say I'm a rapist and pedophile, Facebook reprimand me, remove my monetization, and want me to what is going on? I mean, you make all us gay people look. And is there any straight men out there on social media? Is there any of you out there? What it is about your ass and your private area that you must dangle in front of the world? When I walk on road, we cannot look up in our prostate, like literally. If you see these guys bend over on the street, what is wrong? And women are fighting over you all. What? Oh my God. Women are fighting over, well, they see something that I am very blind to. They see something that I'm literally blind to. The attraction of bad man is an attitude. Anyway, left them there so because I don't know what is happening to these black men, because a black men alone me see, or at least at them Facebook I sent to my page, what it is about you all in Africa, the Caribbean, America, in Britain, in going in front of the camera and prepositioning yourself, you faggots. You paid for whores. What is wrong? Anyway, not my business, but I just have to say, no, let's go to medical breakthrough. We have to take them good things out of the way before we go to the rough and tumbles. Now, there is a bush. Have many different names, depends on where it is. For the Cuban, it's Cuban mint or thyme. For the Chinese, it's Chinese mint. Indian is Indian mint. For the Americans, it's oregano. For the British, it is oregano. I'm going to talk about my my scientific breakthrough with oregano this morning before we go further, because it's a bush that we have around us in the tropics, grow wildly. Sometimes it also grows lusciously and spread like leaf of life. Now, in November, I grow it a lot in my house. In November, I had shingles over my back here, my right part, over my right shoulder. There was a cloud of water bumps, and they were very itchy and very stingy. So when them itch me, you know, in Jamaica, when we used to have measles, there's this bush we used to use called damsel bush. I don't know if I saw one call it in a phone on the word damsel bush. It we used to rub up with Cersei and bathe in when have measles or them something there. So I use the oregano, because you know oregano is very juicy like leaf of life. You can just rub it up in your hand and rub it on the shingles, and immediately it stopped the itching and the burning. Then in the third, fourth day, I went to my general practitioner, and he said, "Oh, you have shingles." And he said, "How long?" I said, "About 3-4 days now." And he said, "But surprisingly, they start drying up already." However, I'm giving me some antibiotics. I never even take more about 3 days what of them. I mean, I do so well with antibiotics. And Me leave it at that. Then what makes me confirm the breakthrough now? Last week, one what come up on my top eyelid, my right top eyelid, and it's very itchy and painful when me rub my hand over it. Very painful. So a man time when me get up, me just pinch a little piece of the oregano leaf and squeeze it and place it over the wart. Globalists, within 3 days, the wart fell off. For me, that is a scientific breakthrough. How good it is for skin disease or for fungal, anything within the fungal family. It is a herb where you can use in all and many ways. I would chew 1 or 2 leaves in the morning, or I would put it in my smoothie, or I tend to use the dry leaves to make tea rather than the green leaf. I tend to more eat the green leaf and use them in the smoothie, or use them in my salad. If you're also cooking soup, you can cook them, put them in your soup. You can use them, season up your meat and all. It has so many different purposes, but there are health benefits to it because I've proven it twice with the skin. Your biggest organ is your skin. And if it works on that organ, your external organ, can you imagine the work it would do on the internal organs? So it is a bush that grows a lot in Jamaica. It is a bush that you can even catch a tree from a leaf, just like leaf of life. So make sure harvest that herb, grow it while it grow wildly, and you see if you pull off one of the leaf, within days a leaf push up back right at that stem bit where you pop off the leaf from. So it grows very fast and very luscious. So yes, great for parasites. So if you don't have it around, cherish it and use it. If you don't have it, get it and plant it. And my brother said, because it's still long. When you break a piece of oregano, it stays fresh and long forever. My brother said, was it summer 2024, I think, it went to Jamaica? No, it wasn't summer. It was last year, actually. No, it was last year, May, when Fitty go down for the funeral. And me plant. So my brother said, Kieran sent some for me, and my brother plant. And me plant them. Me plant from my kitchen window. Me plant from my living room window. Me plant from my bedroom window. And they are growing. And they make your place smell nice because them have a nice aura to them. And there are so much health benefits. So, Ladybug, how you do? There are so much health benefits too. Whether you want to call it oregano, Cuban thyme, Chinese mint, Indian thyme, whichever name you call it. Yes, it is that plant. It has an awful lot of health benefit. We're going to need bush because when World War III advanced, now that World War III hasn't started yet, when it advances, we're going to need bush. Now, we come to the crux of it all, the selective outrage. Who we are going to deal with first? Can we come for CPFSA? We come for Mark Golden, the leader of the opposition, and we come for the government. Who no one we take on first this morning? Can we come for them, We come for the whole of them, the dead meat eating drunkards. We come for all of those with their selective outrage and outcry. Who will tackle first? All if we come about, you know. We come about all heap of them this morning. Because I go show you the hypocrisy. Not that one not see it, but maybe you know would afraid to shout it loud and clear. Anyone at the junker then? Make we start with the CPSA first, the lump of blood, as we would call her in Britain. This lump of blood, I want you to not just listen to the word.
The killing of a...
I not just want you to listen to the words of this lump of blood, but listen to the tone of voice. Listen to the tone of voice from the lump of blood.
The killing of a 3-year-old child in such a vicious and callous manner is beyond heartbreaking. It is unconscionable. When our babies become victims of gun violence, it signals a dangerous moral decline within our society. We cannot normalize or become numb to these atrocities. Our children are to be protected, nurtured, and cherished, not harmed and killed like animals. These repeated attacks against our youngest and most vulnerable citizens should shake us to our core as a nation. Every child's life is sacred. As a country, we must examine what it says about us when our children are murdered and buried before they have had a chance to live. We all share a collective responsibility to safeguard Jamaica's children. Even as we speak out against this horrific act, the CPFSA is equally committed to standing with this family in their time of grief. Our first responders will be working closely with them to provide grief counseling and any other necessary psychosocial support that they need to help them navigate this unimaginable loss.
Payamena, come share my Salima. The Salima. The selective Salima. You heard her tone of voice. Shia, Empress Deb, she's royal. Shia, we did lose our vice in a January. Shia, this lump of blood have the nerve to come out and speak in emotion, shock, awe, and horror. When a child is murdered in our country, the outrage really depends on who pulls the trigger. The selective outrage. We're not even going to go to the article what we do on this morning. No need to go listen to it or go read it on yourself. But we're not done with you yet, but we are go over to Mark Gold. Because we're not done. Hey, we'll go over Mark Gold in a bit. Mark Golden and the dead meat. Mark Golden and the dead meat. Mark Golden and those who you know. Mark Golden.
The echo of silence. When
the regular hypocrite Mark Golden came out with his mouth full of water. Is it because you know him? Is it because of this or that, Mark Golden? Or is it that on only see when gunman shot people now? We don't get to enjoy it this in Mark Golden. Hey, when we get to enjoy this man, and I go run out, come hold me back. Me say, when we get to enjoy this morning, we know I go run, labor right, we enjoy chicken. Oh, no quiet, son. Labor right with the trick, labor right. We swallow the trick pill. Who not so quiet? We don't don't even have chance to walk and drag way anymore. Me just a walk freely so nobody will hold me and drag me. Boy, let's go to this hypocrite, Mark Golden. Mark Golden, what to date? Mark Golden not here, but Jamar Ferguson. Not a word, Mark Golden. Not one word, this lump of blood. And then Mark Golden have the nerve to come out with him selective outrage. Mark Golden, how are you better than Andrew Holness? Or how are you better than the labor right them? We're not done with you yet, Mark Golden. Maybe we do that article here. Then we will lash you again when we get to Andrew, you know. We're going to lash you when we get to Andrew. Because we not get paid 25 point how much a million Mark Golden to be the opposition to Andrew Holness. And at that will come out here do every day, John Crow. At that we come out here every day, do Marcia Thomas. How you do? Every day we have to come out here being the opposition. And Mark Golden choose one murder and jump up to talk about it. Mark Golden, you are a hypocrite. You are a sorry excuse for an opposition. This is why this government is so lawless. Because there's nothing to keep them in check. Because we have become the uniparty capital of the Caribbean, where you cannot identify capitalism from social democracy anymore. I don't know how Mark Golden is a social democrat anyway with his business acumen. I don't know how people with such business and capitalist endeavor want to paint themselves to be a socialist, but that's who wants to believe it.
The echo of silence when political outrage picks and chooses its victims. The tragic passing of Lucian Anderson, a revered figure in Craigtown, has rightfully commanded public attention and political response. A respected middle-aged resident, a former star of Charlie Smith High School's victorious 1980s football team, and a key defensive player for Arnett Gardens, Anderson's death within the sanctity of his own home is deeply disturbing. The swift call for Indicom to conduct a thorough investigation, championed by figures like Mark Golding, underscores the expectation that such grave injustices will be met with unwavering pursuit of accountability.
Only if this hypocrite Mark Golding knew what happened to Jamar Ferguson, or watch the videos of Jamar Ferguson's house. And to date, Mark Golding haven't said a word because these are his special and closest and dearest. Then this hypocrite is coming out now calling for Indicom to investigate. You're a hypocrite, Mark Golding.
Yet, this immediate and vocal response inevitably casts a harsh light on other tragedies that have unfolded with considerably less political fanfare. The agonizing question arises, where was this same profound outrage, this urgent call for justice, when a 4-year-old child was shot on New Year's Day in Granville? And where was
working on the CPFA, or whatever the junk round no name? One of them. Oh no, come on, no. Because me see, and don't say this the wrong way. Me see Desmond McKenzie, I use the bloodstained shots of a 3-year-old to play psychology. It won't work, you motherfuckers. We know you're all child killers and child eaters. You're all Epstein collaborators. So don't go use a child shots, a child bloody shots over we. This plane of psychology now go really work. This selective outrage, what we only see when certain people get killed in our country, or we only see who certain people kill in our country. Mark Golden, you are a hypocrite. Mark Golden, you need to resign because we need an opposition. Mark Jefferson Golden, with the $25 million plus, you need to resign. We need an opposition that can hold this government to account. So far, you are singing on the government's choir.
The consistent, unequivocal condemnation when Jamar was killed by the police. The stark disparity in political reactions to these vastly different yet equally devastating incidents exposes a troubling phenomenon: selective outrage. Selective outrage, particularly when observed in political figures, is more than just an oversight. It is a strategic and often damaging choice that highlights a fundamental inequity in how human suffering is perceived and addressed. It speaks to a system where the value of a life and the urgency of its tragedy appear to be weighed by factors beyond mere humanity. The calculus of political response, why some tragedies resonate more loudly. Several complex dynamics contribute to this perceived selectivity in political indignation. 1. Strategic communication and political capital, crafting relatable narratives. Political leaders often gravitate towards incidents that offer the clearest alignment with their public image, resonate broadly.
Let me say to this lump of blood, Mark Golden, the lady for the baby in Granville where they come out and tell us it is the soldier shot our baby. CPS, if they say whatever they name, Mark Golden, Desmond McKenzie, the MP for Granville, nobody said a word about that 4-year-old baby. Mark Golden never called for Indicom in the thorough investigation for that 4-year-old baby. The police later on come out and say, enough for them bullet. They never say enough for the soldier bullet, but they might try to allude. Say, are the man them where them they shoot at in the house whenever in the house, or them a claim say, are the man them where them a shoot at in the house wouldn't shoot the baby in the house. Nobody, no lump of blood of Mark Golden, no lump of blood of CPSFA. No Marlene, Chang, or Edmund. Them St. James, MP there. No Prime Minister. Nobody. So she and Fear Picnic are no somebody. And now everybody jump on the bandwagon. Everybody jump on the bandwagon of this 3-year-old. We know we don't do blood sacrifice in Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, we know we don't do blood sacrifice, we don't escalate the thing. We remember Commodore. Remember same way the selective outrage at Commodore. But there was no selective outrage in Granville. And now we know that West Kingston with selective outrage again. Let me tackle one part of the Prime Minister. We may go heave him up against wall this morning. You say, we fi come home. You say, Jamaicans fi procreate more. I have a short answer to that, Andrew Holness. Very short answer. Rhoda can afford it. Tell Rhoda to stop dash with the belly them. Prime Minister. If I even want from Rhoda, we increase the population. So tell Rhoda to tap dash with the belly them because she can afford it. And next Prime Minister, you and Chang and Kevin stop kill off people picnic. Yes, that's a solution to the birth rate and the population decline where you come out and talk about. Rhoda stop dash with the belly them. And you and Chang and Kevin stop killing with children them. And that will be one of the solutions to the birth rate. People can breed and go have picking in a hog pen prime minister. People can breed the behavior in the hospital, the treatment where mothers get in a maternity ward put off a lot of women. The treatment that women get in maternity ward in our country put them off childbearing. A lot of them, because it's a horrific behavior and treatment. Have you ever heard about Nurse Brown in Black River, or we call her Hog Brown? The hog dead now anyway. Should have dead long time. Have you ever heard about the hog of Black River Hospital, Nurse Brown? The chief midwife, where we all beat you in a labor. Where when you're called for pain in a labor, Nurse Brown will tell you, say, when you did that bush a cock up, you never call nurse. Ask anybody where got Black River Hospital go have baby of that animal, that sordid old drugger called Nurse Brown that used to be at Black River Hospital. Ask anybody. Ask anybody. So, Andrew Holness, there's a lot that affects our birth rate. The food is another one. Andrew Holness want to mash up with agriculture. The meat, Andrew Holness, is another one. Want to flood the country with lab-grown meat from America. The pharmaceuticals, Andrew Holness, is another one. Just read the Epstein file. It's all carefully planned. We're not bucking up into accident. We're bucking up into accident because we never know. If you buck up in an accident, no, it's because you choose not to know. It's all in the Epstein files. Idiots. It's all in there. So tell Rhoda to stop dash with the belly them. Stop shoot with children them. And then with birth rate, we stay more, with population, we stay at a more steadier pace. All right? We're not done with the drunk named Mark Golden. Mark Golden is a hypocrite. To come out, a call for Indicom to investigate.
Broadly with their constituents, or present an opportunity to demonstrate decisive leadership. Lucian Anderson's story, a celebrated community member and sports hero, provides a narrative that is easily digestible, broadly sympathetic, and likely to garner widespread public support, allowing a political leader to project empathy and concern for community well-being. Navigating political minefields. In contrast, the killing of a 4-year-old, while universally heartbreaking, might become entangled in broader, often uncomfortable discussions about socio-economic challenges in specific communities. Even more fraught is the issue of police killings, such as Jamar's case. Taking a strong stance against alleged police misconduct can be politically perilous, risking alienation of law enforcement, influential lobbies, or segments of the electorate who prioritize law and order above all else. A political figure might choose to defer to established investigative bodies like Indicom, rather than risk being seen as undermining state institutions. Maximizing impact. Politicians often make calculated decisions about where their outrage will have the most significant impact, generate the most positive media coverage, or yield the most favorable political outcomes. 2. The influence of socio-economic standing and public profile. Lucian Anderson's past as a renowned athlete and his respected standing in Craigtown bestowed upon him a level of public visibility and social capital. Such a profile naturally draws more media attention and, by extension, political respect.
That's why Mark Golden come out. I look political narrative. That's why Mark Golden come out. I look political narrative. But you know, correct me upon something though. Lucian Anderson were shot by the police, isn't it? See no more on flower. No, sir. We in a mild weather over here, no Sharon. Yesterday, Sunday, we was about like 15 degrees. Lots of sunshine. And for most of the week, we're above 10 degrees, which is glorious for this time of the year. But Lucian Anderson weren't shot by the police, was he? Because that's not my understanding, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Wow. This one bigger than the last time. Murder, She Wrote. Mr. Anderson was not shot by the police. That is my understanding. Is that your understanding? Because what is confusing me, it's Mark Golden calling an Indicom to do a thorough investigation. Does that not confuse you? That confuses me because Mark Golden is a member of parliament. I thought he was. My understanding, I know, it's not that he was shot by police. I know that the understanding me have. I would an assailant come my yard, come shoot him. Just like the Denham Town, both the Craig Town and the Denham Town, Galangin, they were both shot by assailants, weren't they? So it confuses me as to how Mark Golden is calling for Indicom to do a thorough investigation. That confuses me because there's nothing in the public to say Mr. Anderson was shot by police. Mark Golden need to clarify this bullshit he put on his social media page. The bullshit that Mark Golden put on his social media page, he need to clarify who police in plain clothes. Is that the fact, Wayne Evans? I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything of such. But the fact that because this man carry a little history behind him, especially in a sporting arena, which on know say Mark Golden is passionate about sport and them thing there. Mark Golden is coming out and saying things. No, Mark Golden, we have been calling on Mark Golden since the murder of Jamar Ferguson. We have called on Mark Golden when the Granville baby was murdered the other day. And everybody shut their mouth. And now everybody is playing the Mother Teresa game.
Response. A 4-year-old from a less publicized communities or an individual caught in the complex web of police interactions often lacks this inherent visibility, making their tragedy easier to overlook in the political sphere. Tragedies that repeatedly strike marginalized communities, if not consistently highlighted, can regrettably become normalized in political discourse, leading to a diminished sense of urgency or public outcry, even from the very leaders elected to serve them. 3. Perceived versus actual engagement. It is crucial to acknowledge that a politician's public statements do not always reflect the full scope of their engagement. Actions might be taken behind the scenes, or efforts might be directed through less visible channels. However, in the court of public opinion, consistent condemnation for all forms of violence is often interpreted as a lack of genuine concern or outrage. The corrosive impact of selective outrage. When political figures are perceived as engaging in selective outrage, the consequences are profound and damaging. Erosion of public trust. It breeds cynicism and distrust among citizens, particularly those in marginalized communities who feel their lives and suffering are systematically devalued by their leaders. Perpetuation of inequality. It reinforces the insidious message that some lives are inherently more valuable or worthy of political attention than others, deepening societal divides and leaving certain segments of the population feeling unheard and abandoned. Hindrance to justice and reform. By selectively prioritizing certain tragedies, politicians inadvertently deprioritize others.
This can stifle calls for crucial reforms in areas like police accountability or urban development, where the roots of violence often lie. If the political will to address all forms of violence is not uniform, systemic change becomes a distant ideal. Undermining social cohesion, a sense of unequal treatment can severely fragment society, making it exponentially harder to build broad-based consensus and collective action necessary to tackle the pervasive issue of violence across the nation. The demand for justice in Lucian Anderson's case is unequivocally valid and necessary. However, his tragic death must also serve as a powerful catalyst for introspection within our political landscape. For a truly just and equitable society to flourish, political outrage cannot be a commodity to be selectively deployed. It must be a consistent, unwavering force, applied with equal measure and empathy for every life tragically lost, whether it be a celebrated community figure, a vulnerable child, or an individual caught in a violent confrontation with the state. Only then can we begin to heal the deep wounds of violence and build a society where the echo of silence is replaced by the collective roar for justice for all.
Speaking as not having the exact fact, but let's assume Mr. Anderson was shot by police for whatever reason and in whatever circumstances. It's still the same hypocrisy Mark Golden is playing, because him never see when Jamar Ferguson was shot in his house. He never see when the police, based on video footage, carry out a plethora of cover-up in the assassination of Jamar Ferguson. Mark Golden stood silent, never even called for Indy come to do a thorough investigation. Just never knew the name Jamar Ferguson. Jamar Ferguson doesn't ring a bell to Mark Golden and the PNP. It doesn't. Nobody knew that youth name in government or in the opposition. They have no knowledge of who he is. But everybody knows the Commodore 4-year-old. Was it the 4-year-old in Commodore or 8-year-old? And everybody knows the Denham Town 3-year-old. Nobody knows the 4-year-old in Granville. And these are the games that our elected officials play with us. But Mark Golden, who we elect, who we give a 300% rise, is behaving like the government. What's the purpose of Mark Golden and the quiet, silent leadership Mark Golden and carry PNP in? I don't see what the PNP are supporting. I literally don't see what they are supporting, because Mark Golden is no opposition. Mark Golden-led PNP is no worthwhile or meaningful opposition in our country. It doesn't stop the government in its track and anything. We still have a lawless government running the country. We still have a family dictating the terms of executive and legislature in our country. What's the use of Mark Golden and the PNP barring for collect with money? Talk truth. Labor rights, morning. Morning, labor rights. Wanna see me talk to no decent? Oh, no, do? Oh, no, all right? Me not think him trick Ono, not tell lie to Ono, now we. I mean, Andrew is Andrew. Isn't that the usual Andrew? Lord Jesus, receive me.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's salary reversal, a question of
You wonder why Prime Minister Holness has not implemented the impeachment legislation. You wonder why the Prime Minister have not. The easy direct, I would support the UIC, but what did a dictator then I mean? Joseph Patterson need to step aside. Joseph Patterson, cause how you do? Joseph Patterson is the one that is holding back the UIC and possibly holding back Jamaica. Joseph Patterson is holding back the UIC and is possible holding back Jamaica. That's another narcissist for another day. But the UIC have brilliant policies. It just needs leadership and a unified ideology. Andrew not chick we. Andrew not lie to we. Andrew just do what Andrew do to get vote. Allow me to tell you remember prosperity. You remember prosperity. Of course he promised you that. Prosperity. I mean, for years he told you, me not take the loan. Me not. And he goes on and he carries on and he carries on. All right, Prime Minister. Circumstances may dictate that you need to take the higher salary. But given that, Andrew Holness, you say you never want it. We know you don't need it because you thief more on that. We understand that part. But good God Almighty, Andrew Holness, you backdate the money to 2023. 50, how much million? 28 and 28, how much? I don't know, I can't count. But I must say about 56. About 56 million in a back money, you know, or more. At least, let's say at least $56 million in back pay. You could make we go on with that. So, all right, Andrew. So, this I mean, say, no, Andrew, I tell we say we forgot teeth, you know. Andrew, when you don't understand the subliminal message in this. Remember, say, Andrew thief in a way so till for 2 years he never want to pay for we how thiefness there work for him. For whatever reason, I don't know what Melissa do to Andrew. Andrew decides I have to take the razor pay now. But it will be backdated to 2023. The Prime Minister is walking away with at least $56 million in, what you would call it, retroactive or whatever payment. Yeah. I wonder if the retroactive people who've been squallering for their retroactive for years now, I wonder if they are in receipt of theirs, or there would be anytime soon. We're feedable. Andrew never lied to it. Andrew never lied to it. Andrew does what he wants to get vote. Andrew knows, say, if he run that narrative against Mark Golden, say Mark Golden take it, but him not take it may be a political win for him. I wonder if you all see when you were presented Barabbas and the fake Jesus, you all chose Barabbas. See there now? Barabbas say, it a go cost uno fi choose me. It a go cost uno life. It a go cost uno economy. Uno house, uno community. Uno land. It a go cost uno everything. Can the people of Jamaica say to us, what? What ATE what? Have you seen from the start of Andrew Holness's third term that you gave to him or that he stole from us that would make you want to go on without a riot? You may have to answer the question. Remember the 7 years of famine that Kevin Simmet told us about? Ballot! You remember the 7 years of famine that Kevin Simmet told us about? You have signed yourself up. You, the people of Jamaica, have signed yourself up. Because you can't walk and blame Andrew Holness, you know. We knew Andrew Holness was a thief before the 3rd of September. We knew Andrew Holness was a liar before the 3rd of September. We know Andrew Holness was a con man and a criminal before the 3rd of September 2025. You mandated corruption. You mandated the thief. You mandated the criminal without any opposition. Nobody never go demonstrate against the Prime Minister stealing of the election. Nobody never go demonstrate against the Prime Minister buying of the election. You all legitimize it. The saddest part of it, you're going to have to tough it out. You are going to have to tough it out, because what it seems is that you have no redress to this, because the opposition is silent, the people are sleeping, the government have a playing field to joyride, joyriding the Prime Minister and his retroactive. I saw it. I don't know if I saw retroactive, maybe. Boy, the dons.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's salary reversal, a question of trust and timing in Jamaica. Kingston, Jamaica. The recent announcement that Prime Minister Andrew Holness will accept the substantial salary increase approved under the government's 2023 Public Sector Compensation Review has ignited a fresh wave of debate across Jamaica. This decision marks a significant reversal.
Uno teachers, we have to borrow from our neighbor. Uno teacher, we have to borrow from our neighbor figure school. Uno teacher, we have to trust taxi fare figure school. Uno teacher, we have to carry a lunch in a shit pan and when you reach a school and realize you have to share it with another friend. Uno police with a uniform, burn out and a tight and bus pan uno. Uno police will put uno come all the way up a road. Hungry kill uno. Uno fireman. Uno overwork. Nurses uno have to uno never train pound on knee, but uno have to treat patient pound on knee. Uno hungry teacher. Uno teacher with NHT and bank out for take back on the house for uno. Uno are the problem. Andrew one can't be so much problem in Jamaica. Andrew Dege one or Andrew Toto one can't be so much problem in Jamaica. We have colluded with this fuckery for too long. We have been silent for too long. See there? They don't go silent.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's salary reversal, a question of trust and timing in Jamaica. Kingston, Jamaica. The recent announcement that Prime Minister Andrew Holness will accept the substantial salary increase approved under the government's 2023 Public Sector Compensation Review has ignited a fresh wave of debate across Jamaica. This decision marks a significant reversal from his previous stance, raising critical questions about political promises, public trust, and the delicate balance between government policy and public sentiment. In 2023, the Jamaican government's Public Sector Compensation Review, which included significant salary hikes for parliamentarians and senior public officials, triggered widespread public outrage. Amidst this outcry, with some
No, man, that's why you know, say Jamaicans are not somebody and they don't want nothing. That's why the whole of the Jamaican man, them depend social media, a prostitute themselves. Anybody can, anybody man out there want buy a man, Jamaica man up for sale. Me nah lie. Just go on social media. You can buy them cheap. Sale out. Jamaica bad man, they pan sale out. Buy one, get two. Yeah. We will give you one free one. The way out there know what fuck all anymore.
Increases exceeding 200%, Prime Minister Holness publicly stated his intention to decline the adjustment to his own salary. He notably remarked at the time that another Prime Minister in the future or a new mandate may give an opportunity to reconsider the Prime Minister's salary. This statement was largely interpreted by the public as a commitment to forego the increase, at least for the foreseeable future, in solidarity with the public's concerns. However, a statement released by the Office of the Prime Minister on Friday, February 21, 2026, confirmed that Holness would now accept the salary adjustment. This decision will see his annual earnings rise from $9.16 million to approximately $28.5 million, a more than threefold increase. Crucially, the revised compensation will be applied retroactively from September 2025. The statement explained that, following a careful review and internal consultations, it was agreed that the Prime Minister's emoluments should align with the established remuneration attached to the office, bringing it in line with the broader restructuring of senior public sector salaries. The delay in execution, according to the release, was attributed to the impact of Hurricane Melissa. This shift in position has inevitably led to scrutiny. For many, the central...
How the fuck does Melissa, on a pardon the expression, me can't say it any better. How Melissa getting at this? No. How Melissa getting at this? How does Melissa getting at this? Andrew? How Melissa getting at this? Boy, me know Melissa must sorry already.
The central question is whether Prime Minister Holness lied to the Jamaican people last year when he initially declined the increase. The argument for a breach of trust. Those who believe the Prime Minister has gone back on his word point to the clear public statement made in 2023. At a time of considerable public dissatisfaction over the increases, Holness's decision to refuse his own raise was seen as a gesture of empathy and responsibility. For these individuals, the recent reversal undermines that initial commitment.
And you all never see that was a game being played at you. When we are telling us that we have to stop for Andrew Holness, not no go so. That Andrew Holness will provide with proof saying not getting his salary.
Could be perceived as a strategic delay rather than a genuine change of heart. The phrasing, another Prime Minister, or a new mandate, could be interpreted as a subtle way to leave the door open, but in the context of the public's strong reaction, it was widely understood as a more definitive rejection of the immediate increase. The retroactive application of the new salary further compounds this perception, suggesting a move to quietly implement the increase once public attention had shifted. The argument against...
With public attention no shift. Because we still have the hungry police them out there start with. We still have the hungry teacher them will turn up at school hungry and can't teach to pick them correctly. We have the hungry nurse and the hungry junior doctor them. We have to bend down upon their need treat with. So it never lasts for with public consciousness. Andrew Holness was only checking his voters until after the election. Everybody know that. Not this hard to understand and work out.
Deception. Conversely, supporters of the Prime Minister's decision argue that his initial statement did contain a caveat, explicitly mentioning the possibility of reconsideration under a new mandate or by a future Prime Minister. They might contend that circumstances have evolved and the new administration formed after the 2023 period, though no general election occurred between then and now, implying an internal new mandate within the existing government, provided the context for this re-evaluation. Furthermore,
The explanation regarding the delay due to Hurricane Melissa offers a practical reason.
So just want to explain what this article is saying at this part to you. When Andrew Holness said another government or another mandate, another prime minister could accept the salary, that's the cunning he used to now accept it after the general election, like in job get any harder. As Ladybug said, what did Melissa mash up for Andrew? Andrew thief more than what Melissa. Even if Melissa did mash up anything for Andrew thief more and that he couldn't replenish it out of the thieving money.
Reason for the timing of the implementation, rather than suggesting an intentional deception. They would emphasize that the decision is about aligning the Prime Minister's salary with the broader approved public sector compensation framework, which aims for equity and competitive remuneration across government. From this perspective, the initial refusal was a temporary measure in response to.
But Ladybug, to be honest with you, if they know if the teacher them not going a higgling on the school compound, you know, dog them we picking them supper because everybody have a feeling teacher for pay their fear.
To public sentiment, not a permanent vow. Political ramifications and public perception. Regardless of the interpretation, the timing and nature of this announcement carry significant political ramifications. Public trust in political leaders is a fragile commodity, and reversals on highly sensitive issues like public official salaries can erode that trust. The episode is likely to fuel cynicism among some segments of the population, who may view it as another example of politicians saying one thing and doing another once the immediate pressure subsides. The debate also reignites the broader conversation about the appropriate remuneration for public officials in Jamaica, a nation grappling with economic challenges. While proponents of higher salaries argue for attracting and retaining top talent, critics often highlight the disparity between political salaries and the average citizen's income. In conclusion, Prime Minister Andrew Holness's decision to accept the triple salary increase, after initially declining it, is a complex issue. While the Prime Minister's office offers justifications for the change, the public's perception will ultimately determine whether this move is seen as a pragmatic alignment with policy or a regrettable departure from a previous commitment. The incident underscores the ongoing tension between political expediency, public expectations, and the practicalities of governance in Jamaica.
Andrew just dragged his supporters down the road with him until he get what he wants. I know the labor rights are silent on this matter. In the last 2 days, though, have you heard anything from the People's National Party in relation to the Prime Minister going back on his words? I'm not saying they haven't said anything, I just haven't heard. Have anyone heard anyone from the PNP, in most so the leader of the opposition, who is Andrew's counterpart in leadership? Has anyone heard Mark Golden or the PNP come out against Andrew going back on his words? What's the point in an opposition if it is us in social media have to continue be the day-to-day opposition of this government? What's the purpose? What is the purpose of an opposition? An opposition leader that we're paying over $25 million per year. What is the purpose? Can we not see Mark Golden and the PNP them oppose anything? Barring Dr. Dawes' opposition in the health spectrum, we not see no opposition agwan. A prime minister has gone back on his word. And the opposition is not making mincemeat of the government. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Senator Home Sweet Home and Senator SpongeBob have this narrative to hold the PNP and wallow them in a dot? I mean, when Senator SpongeBob and Senator Home Sweet Home, them will all tear off Michael Manley old clothes and shake it out in the public. This is politicking. What the Mark Golden PNP does not understand is narrativing, opticking, and politicking. They aren't going to get it. They're not going to get it. And that's why I'm asking the question, should Mark Golden not step aside and make somebody else try to speak up for Jamaica? Should Mark Golden not step aside and allow somebody else to speak up for it? Because Mark Golden isn't doing it. Mark Golden ain't doing anything. Andrew Holness can do whatever he wants. Mark Golden and the PNP have the power to remove Juliet Holness from the Speaker's chair. But they continue to play as, oh, we don't agree with her position. Oh, we don't agree with your position. What are you going to do about it? Other than making up the useless noise in our ear, PNP, when you do feel like open your mouth, it's bare hot air that comes out of it. Nothing meaningful. Nothing to make this government stop and think or stop them in their tracks. Why did we give the PNP 100% rise in numbers and 300% rise in pay? 100% rise in numbers and 300% rise in pay. And the PNP still they are going like labor rights? The leadership of Mark Golden is untenable. The leadership of Mark Golden is untenable. We need an opposition in the country to highlight the issues that plagues and bedevils us. PNP is not aware of them. The PNP appoint a shadow cabinet. What a shadow cabinet does on a day-to-day basis is take government policy to task. The job of the shadow cabinet is to take the government cabinet policies to task, to highlight the flaws, the inconsistencies, the lies, the trickery, the con. What on earth is the PNP doing in our country? Is there anybody here from the PNP that can answer that question? What on earth is the PNP doing with the power we gave them in our country? Because they're not even serving us on the legislative front. All right, let me say on the legislative front, they might be serving us in the fact that when Faval, Chuck, or whoever come, or Andrew Wheatley come with the EFRI, then we straighten it out. So far, barring that, tell me what we're getting outside of Parliament. Because opposition is not about when they're in Parliament. We pay them from they wake up to they go to sleep. We pay our MPs from the time they wake up to the time they go back to sleep. They are on our job. The job of an MP is not a 9 to 5. It's waking to sleeping. That means in tragedy, we can wake them out of their bed at night. They're on call. You understand? What is the Mark Golden PNP doing in our country. You are politically bisexual, and you are part of the reason the Jamaicans are people not united. Mr. Switchy. Fix them up. Good morning. That's an interesting way to disagree with what I'm saying. Can you provide me a more unswitchy way, or explain to us how you come up to this point this morning that I'm politically bisexual? I've been interested very this morning. I'd be very interested to understand how you come up with such disagreement. Interesting way to disagree, though, but it needs clarification. Now, back to the hypocrisy of the PNP. Let me preempt, fix them up. Is it that you're saying fix them up, that because I may have been kosher to the PNP in my broadcasts, I am only to look at the issues in our country concerns a crooked or corrupt government? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying that me calling out the opposition for their lack of, do nothing, singing on the government's choir, is that me being politically bisexual? I need to understand that phraseology you come up with. But if it is that when it comes to the politicking of our country, we must only hold those accountable that is not of our political allegiance or incline, that fix them up is more dangerous. In a democracy, two things can be true at the same time. I can be a supporter of social democracy and an opposition to capitalism, which can be true. But at the same time, I can hold capitalism to account, and I can hold social democracy to account, because the point here is not the political maneuvering or mastering, it's rather the people. And this is where why you don't talk about Roy Reid case. How is this important to this morning's? You have not answered my question. I've asked you a particular question to have an understanding. I asked you a particular question to have an understanding of what you are saying. Because you have PNP distractor just like the labor right distractor them, fix them up. And you seem to be one of them. Because how does Roy Reid case becomes important to the subject I'm having this morning? And it is how the political prostitution of labor right and PNP works. If it is that I was just here drugging Andrew Holness this morning, I'm sure you wouldn't have an issue. But I've raised the incompetences of the PNP, which diehard PNP don't want to hear. What you diehard PNP like and rather is for the country to go down in silence. That is not what I am about. Me know say a distraction the PNP come with this morning, Jackie. But a Mark Golden we are deal with. How Roy Reid coming at this PNP? PNP, how Roy Reid coming at this? We're talking about Mark Golding's uselessness. We're talking about Mark Golding incompetency of being an opposition. That is what is the subject this morning. Why you don't go and speak about Ruel Reid? And this is why you are blaming me for the country not being better, but it's people like you on both sides of the kind, Labour Right or PNP, who are willing to go down with the sinking ship of your party rather than jumping off and put your country in a lifeboat. And on a die-hearted Labour Right and PNP, the problem in Jamaica, you know, fix them up. I don't know if you should be cussing the judges in Jamaica who fail us. Why don't you cuss the judges them? What about you? Fix them up. Have you what have you done to stand up against corruption in our country? We all keep calling out politicians, and I am doing my own standing up here. Even if they have to shut me down, I'm going to use my voice. What are you doing? Leave the judges out of this. What are you doing? What are you encouraging your party to do? What are you pushing your party to do? When last have you wrote to your MP? You see this protecting of the one market G? This is why PNP will never come back. The hypocrisy of the one market G-ism and the one PNP-ism, it's the destruction of social democracy in our country. When you fail to hold what you love to account, you are the architect of destruction to that which you hold dearly and say you love. You, the loyal supporters, who afraid to speak the truth, is the architect of the People's National Party. Destruction. Trust me, we must not be able to protect when we support we or when we benefit we. We elect the PNP, gave them a salary, gave them raise a pay to sit down and let the government joyride the budget, joyride the legislature. Are you serious? Fix them up. Are you really serious? Maybe we don't need to put more pressure on Mark Golding. Maybe we don't need to put more pressure on Mark Golding. For Mark Golding put more pressure on the government. There's lacking pressure at the moment. This is destructive to a country. The danger in our country is not the politician, them, you know. It's us who will die for them. It's us who will chop up one another for them. I have one phone call coming up at 2 o'clock. I so need figure, but I could lecture you all day, fix them up. I could lecture you all day because jumping here, there, and everywhere does not answer my question. I asked you to explain the switchy and the political bisexuality. Then you went on to Ruel Reid. You went on to Judge. How does that address the issue of a weak, feckless, and failing do-nothing opposition? Ruel Reid was thieving long time. Talking about Ruel Reid now go help the lack of opposition we have in our country. Have you ever heard the phrase, when you get to a bridge, you cross it? Ruel Reid is in front of the court. When the decision come, we will deal with it just like how when Silvera come, we dealt with it. Me I make money off the movement of Footer Hype and LA Lewis. So what? Everybody is in media for money. Did that shock you? Hmm? This is, hey, you know what? We're telling them all the while in Jamaica, they don't believe me. There are stupid PNP out there. A lot of us would be of the view that labor rights are the dunce of our country. But believe you me, you have them on both sides of the fence. They are in my community. They are in my family, you see. They are all over Jamaica. They're all over the diaspora. They carry their what's it or other with them. But people like fix them up, or people who have their head too far up Mount Golden's rear end. So they are unable to see that Mount Golden is not giving us value for money. The PNP is not giving us value for money. And if it is that I am fighting against this, so what? Huh? This is the time to ask governments question. This is the time to ask people in position of power question. Especially like how we just find out, say, most of them Epstein have everything pan them and I hit the whole of them mouths so silent. The PNP are hypocrites. In this chat me you, it might give me more time to show up Mark Golden's hypocrisy and lack of. If you come thinking you're going to save Mark Golden this morning, you're just allowing me to show you all that Mark Golden is no better than Andrew HOLNESS. They lied for vote. They lied for power. And when they get it, it's a total different thing. Mark Golden promised us a robust opposition. He promised the whole government. Where is it? Where is it? Mark Golden and him 27. Look across their social media page. The woeful silence. And they call themselves opposition. When Senator Lampshade, Senator Home Sweet Home, and Senator SpongeBob ready, them going to Michael Manley grave. Them take up PJ Patty's nappy and them walk it and fan it all over the place and then make a whole hullabaloo out of it. I'm not saying the PNP ought to do that. The JLP give the government gave us food to chew on every day. Look at the Auditor General report for just this year only. But fix them up, no say the corruption is not a problem for Mark Golden and the PNP. They don't see it. All they care about, all the PNP care about in our country is getting back in power. The PNP, the Mark Golden PNP, cares a dash about a thing in our country other than getting back to power. Would we be getting a better service from the People's National Party at this moment? I don't know. When if we blame Andrew HOLNESS for Alexander, why should I blame Andrew HOLNESS? Is Andrew HOLNESS the opposition? You see, on a fool, I'm talking about the opposition. I want to come and tell me if you blame the government. Talk it truth if you don't look fool to you. Or is it that you don't understand what me I say? Talk. May I have a few more minutes. Talk. Our legislature is made up of the government and the opposition. The fact that the opposition is not in government doesn't mean they don't have power. That's why they're called His Majesty's opposition. Tell me why. Me fi blame Andrew. When me I talk about the opposition, Alexander Whittingham, how Andrew come in at this? You saw me I tell you, say there are stupid PNP out there are dunce PNP out there are hypocrite PNP out there who afraid of the truth. You're going to hear it from me. If you think to say this is a place where the PNP have a safe space, liar, tell yourself. You want to hear that lie. Everybody from me launch my platform know I have always been like this. I hold people in position to account. Nobody in 2023 and 2024 ladder golden ass like me over here. So me don't know the blood clot to come over here this morning and try to defend this lump of blood. This lump of blood that we elected and give money for do fuck all. PNP, uno no better than labor right. Uno don't better than labor right. I'm telling you all the while. Labor right a jankro, PNP a dog. Labor right a rat, PNP a puss. Uno no better than the one. But uno like fix them up and Alexander in the middle. Uno worse than the politician them. Uno we suffer in a silence. Uno we hand over no children to be abused. Uno we watch uno neighbor house get burned down because of uno junk yourself from your PNP. Uno think a labor right a junk alone in our country. You remember PJ Patterson, the biggest PNP drunk? Please, don't even go there and don't even try come over my platform and get me if it turn Wayne Loan, some Andre Stevens or the other mother bumbleclot them out there. We only see numbers and view because a lot of them not believe in what them a fucking tell you. It's because them know the PMP crowd up to them platform when them suck up to the one mark golden. Not yet, sir! Not here! No, not over here. This is not the place for it. This is the place to hold people in position of power to account. And if you don't want to hear, chat along there. Chat along. But don't expect me to one market day, one PNP a thief, labor a thief. Remember me when I must own Michael Manley government never entrenched in a corruption like Portia and P. Oh no, don't go there, PNP. Don't come round here so with it. I'm not a hypocrite. You must realize that by now, isn't it? You don't like PNP, be honest. What the fuck is there to like about PNP? Fix them up. What is there to like about them? You see. Everybody knows Portia was my darling. Everybody knows that. But hey, PNP, you're not idiot, you know. You are idiots. Labor right are the right fool and you are the left fool. These are the new names for them. The right fool and the left fool. Me, though, wouldn't want to be on any side of these fools, neither the right fool nor the left fool. Because for PNP, it's the People's National Party first. For JLP, it's the Jamaica Labour Party first. For Global TV, it is Jamaica first. You understand? Jamaica first. Therefore, speaking truth to power does not contain the hypocrisy that you demand. I cannot be that. If I wanted to be that, I have enough qualifications that I could go and look a job in mainstream media, become a legal correspondent, or become something of the sort of that. The reason why I am here is because I have a loose and fluttery tongue. Anyway, me not done with Mark Golden yet. Me have a call coming up in 20 minutes. I go come back for Mark Golden tonight. Since I've missed it, you know want my PNP for turning a platform, my platform for turning a PNP. Me I go show you what independent journalism means. Independent journalism. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a political vlogger for the PNP. I have said that many times. I have said that many times. There is a difference to political vlogging and social justice. I cater to social justice, justice for all. Whereas the political vlogger catered to the ideology and the narrative of the PNP. You, my friends, are in the wrong place. Thank you for being here this morning on Global TV. Lovely to have your support. Join us back tonight when we go back down memory lane with the PNP them again, because if I that you know want, that is certainly what Global TV will advance. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV. Timmy is somebody to fuck with, yeah?
Too long in our little ghetto. Run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down. Listen, Rastafari. War and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari. We love all. And we love Jah. Me love Jah. Me love Jah. Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone.
And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.